What is going on, guys? My name's Richard, and today, welcome back to the only podcast where we drop a guest on completely unannounced until 5 minutes beforehand. I'm Brett, and these are my two dudes and our guest.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, nice to be here. I don't know why I said it like I'm a guest. I don't know what was going through my mind.
Yeah, Trent's been the guest this whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. Benjamin's been on every single episode.
Yeah.
It's very nice to be on the show. I really like this type of stuff. So, yeah, let's do this, I guess.
Right.
So, I don't know, what exactly do we do on these podcasts?
Well, we're about to find out. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. What's one of our topics we can talk about, Brett?
Ready Player One came out. That was a thing.
That was a thing,
yeah.
I heard about it. Did it get terrible reviews or something? Please tell me it didn't.
No, it's been hyped to shit. I mean, it was hyped to shit, and I haven't personally seen it, but I really want to. So.
I do too.
Hey, I'm one of the people that was like, I want to get this, and then I want to also get like the DVD of it whenever that comes out.
I'm kind of nervous about it because I feel like it's one of those movies that's going to be like, oh, look at this really nostalgic thing that you really like, and then here's a plot that's supposed to go with it that's kind of like I hope it has they're putting as much work into all the references as they are like their actual substance in the movie. You get what I mean?
Well, yeah. I actually did read the book. If you want to ask me any questions about
it's based on a book.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
By Ernest Hemingway.
It's it's a really good book.
Okay, that changes things.
Yeah, but listen to the audiobook version because I'm too dumb to read.
That's good.
Yeah, they do add a lot more references that weren't in the book into the original.
Yeah,
like this one has like a lot more modern references in comparison to the book, which had a lot more 80s references.
Right.
I hope they bring back that one thing that happens where one of the things is that I forgot what it's called. It's like they basically use like an old like text-based adventure game as one of like the final levels.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I remember that.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So
and
like,
to win, you must play King's Quest on DOS.
No, not King's Quest, but close. It's one of like the first ones. Like I think it starts with a Z or something. Forgot his name.
Yeah, my knowledge of text-based RPGs has dwindled over the years, so I can't remember. But so I used to be really interested in that for some reason, like that genre. I want to play like a legit like D&D like game like RPG.
Yeah,
because I have one.
I know those exist, but like I've never played them personally. And there are super mutants attacking my farm. Yeah. There are super mutants attacking us, and we don't like them. They're part of the wrong minority.
You know, I just realized something that would be great.
What?
Just like brainstorming stuff here.
Yeah.
Like, this might be like a video idea, probably not. Don't want to get your fans too excited for it. Because probably like the limits and things like that.
Fucking fans.
I was about to say like what if Brett just said what fans, and then here we are. Because I didn't want to say it. Because
basically, I don't really know the rules of this podcast type stuff, but basically, I can just imagine all four of us playing Guns of Icarus. You know what that game is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. That'd be amazing.
That would be fun. Great. So I came to this settlement to defend it, and I was fighting a super mutant, and I accidentally shot one of my settlers in the back of the head and killed him. How many people are dead? That's the real question. How many bodies did we lose? How many people died? Or
can I regale you guys with a game tale?
Sure.
So I was playing this game called Enter the Gungeon. You all know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Basically,
I hate it so much.
Basically, there are these cursed enemies in the game where if you pick up enough cursed items, they start appearing, and they do like double damage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like ultra cursed at like one point, and like had basically all cursed items. And I walked into like the boss room and thought, the boss can't be cursed. Walks in, the boss is cursed. Now every single bullet deals double damage on the boss.
Oof.
Oh my god.
So I was over here just finding this like, I forgot what, this mind flayer looking dude who like kept on shooting bullets out of nowhere, and I was like, please stop. Yeah.
Please
Kill him, though.
think of the children.
Not the children. Oh no.
So, and like, I don't know. I just want to play like a legitimate, because I know Pro Jared's played some, and they're all on like old Windows. But my other friend, or not, I don't want to say my other friend, like I'm friends with Pro Jared, but I have a friend named Jared who dabbles and stuff like that. And he said that there's a website, I can't remember what it's called, but it's some website where they take really old software from like Windows 98, like that old era of Windows, and they basically refurbish it in a sense to where it runs on like Windows 10.
Yeah.
I
So
know what you're talking about.
so you don't have to run it through a virtual machine or DOS box.
Yeah.
I just remembered what it's called. I really just remembered what the game is.
What's it called?
Zork.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was that.
I want to play the King's Quest series again. I've only ever played the remake of it, but I've seen like full playthroughs of the other games. They look really fun.
Honestly,
King's Quest is fucking amazing.
King's Quest has always been amazing.
Yeah, I really like the remake.
I wouldn't say always.
I mean, King's Quest 3 was...
The DOS games were good.
Yeah, the DOS games were good.
And that's something I can stand by because I've actually played all of them all the way through.
Wow.
I think the only one I haven't played was 4.
Space Quest was pretty interesting as well.
Space Quest is fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish I didn't get to finish all the Space Quest games, but those games are just straight funny.
Literally, watching Dan play them is great, though.
Yeah.
That's the first experience I've had with those games in like 4 or 5 years was watching Dan play them. Like, so I used to play them like a few years back, and then I've like there's so much I've just forgotten about them, so it's like basically reliving them at this point.
Yeah. See, my whole thing with King's Quest is like the remake was actually really, really, really good. And what I'm excited for is, or not excited for, what I hope is that they'll take that and one day maybe do the same thing for Space Quest. Oh, wait, did I say Space Quest remake? Or did I say King's Quest?
No, you said King's Quest.
Okay, yeah, I really hope they do the same thing for Space Quest. Like, literally just get the same developers to do it.
I didn't particularly enjoy the King's Quest remake. I mean, it was good. It just wasn't as good as it could have been. But
That's
just
fair.
like cynical bastard, though.
Yeah.
That's right.
And just like overhyping something to the point where it's just unrealistic.
All right.
Like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Although I do really want to see that movie.
I do too.
Like, the only bad reviews I've seen of it are people like, oh, I'm disappointed because it didn't live up to my unrealistic expectations, or Armand White. Those are the only two types of reviews that are bad.
You didn't get to see Tracer's ass that much, so what?
There's hentai for that. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
The internet has you covered.
Don't beat your dick in the theater, you filthy animals.
Trent, you know what I noticed in
the
trailers and things for it?
What?
They have the swordfish, which is the ship in Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
You know the red thing? Yeah, that's an actual reference they put in that movie. That is how deep the references go.
I think there's a Gundam in there too at one point.
There is. I think there is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm super into Gundam. By the way,
I think I remember correctly. Gundam was even mentioned in like the original book.
Probably because Gundam's been around since the 70s. So
yeah, and still.
I mean, the original book isn't that old.
I mean, I don't know how good it is. Like, obviously, Trent, you're gonna give me a biased answer on this. I don't know how good Gundam is like up close, but from afar, it's pretty badass.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Gundam is like, the franchise is so big and there's so many shows. But the thing is, a lot of those shows take place in their own universe. So, like, really, if you like a genre of anime, it probably exists in a Gundam format.
What really got which one got me was Iron Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, that one was good.
It was good with story and stuff. Like, it was real deep, and I'm like, wow, this is something I can get into.
Like I said, I'm not an expert on Gundam. A lot of my comes from me just like looking up stuff about it, like I read like the wiki of it and everything. The only Gundam shows that I've seen, like just seen in general, are Mobile Fighter G Gundam, I think is what it's called, which was the martial arts one, and then the original like Mobile Suit Gundam from the 70s. Let me finish this and then you can go, Ben. But I mean, like, it's really like, whatever you're looking for is probably a Gundam show. So it's like, if you like really deep lore, then the original series and like all those connected shows. But if you just want like action, then like Mobile Fighter G and like all the other stuff. But go ahead, Ben.
The closest I have gotten to mecha anime is Armored Core, but that's like a game, not even a show.
It's also really great. The Armored Core series is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm playing the original a little bit. It's really hard to do with like controls and things like that.
Oh yeah, it is. It is hard to control.
DJ introduced me to that series. It was pretty good.
I actually made like a modified control system to make it actually work.
Right.
Because like the original like PS1 one is like really hard to control.
Yeah.
Also,
the only one I've ever played was For Answer, and that was it.
I have For Answer and I think 3.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of
because Benjamin gave me 3.
Oh wait, I did?
Yeah, you just handed me a random Xbox case and was like, "Here, have this." And I was like, "Okay."
I don't remember doing that. Also, now that I think about it,
I found the case and I was like, "Oh my god."
I mean, Benjamin's very much a Willy Wonka type when it comes to like just the stuff he has and the stuff he's like, "Here, just take this. I don't want it."
So speaking of which, I would like my games back. At least my Wii games.
Dude, they're in a box somewhere. Literally, I have like 50 bucks.
Yeah, I want my copy of Animal Crossing City Folk back.
Look, you're not getting that back. That was sold. Definitely when we left Jason.
Like, fuck, it was sold. You're gonna track down my copy of Animal Crossing City Folk.
I will buy you a new copy of Animal Crossing City Folk.
I still owe Tom Nook like 1,000,000 bells.
Well, guess what? You're gonna owe him way more.
You're getting deeper in debt.
The interest rates are terrible.
Welcome to real life.
Like a year and a half.
Ben, did you say just like real life?
Yeah.
You're right.
Welcome to real life, but yeah, basically.
You're right.
Let's see. Speaking of ideas and stuff like that, I have a $1 million idea that if Wizards of the Coast, people that do D&D and stuff, did, they would literally print money. Hear me out on this. You know how all of like those like companies and stuff that have like different fandoms like have these little figurine boxes that you get at your local store, and they're like, oh, it's like a random character from this. Imagine if they did that with like miniatures, like D&D miniatures.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
Like, I feel like there might be something like that already, though.
You would think, but I just can't find anything like that.
Yeah.
What's the dragon called? Oh god, what's that like?
Tiamat?
Yeah. I know, you can actually get, him or her, I really don't know. You can actually
Are you assuming it's gender?
Jeez.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, Dylan, I'm fucking triggered. How could you?
Fucking God, Dylan. Do you not have?
Also,
Do you
I
not?
want to talk about some terrible Twitter experiences I've had as well at some point.
Okay.
I just like I'm not just gonna shove it in right here because we're already talking about something, but I'm writing it down on the topic list.
Do it. Do it.
But I know you can find a figure of it, like.
Yeah, that's really easy to find.
And I was like, oof, that's like $50 too much.
That's
I mean,
like
it's a
$50.
giant 5-headed dragon. What would you expect?
Not like, I think it was $150. I was like,
Wait.
that's $50 too much.
I mean, if it's like painted for like that much, it's pretty good.
Yeah, to be fair, because the ones that are painted and stuff already do tend to go for pretty high.
Yeah, like my custom one that I got was like $20 just for like the base.
Yeah. Oh, it might possibly.
Yeah.
But oh, sorry, that's somebody in my family's about to try to get my attention because I heard my mother sound off on the door and he'll come right out. So it's like, oh, they're referring to me. Oh, look at there. Be right back, you guys. You guys just keep talking.
You can hear him through the microphone and everything.
Okay, so while Trent's gone, let's talk about how horrible he is.
And he's a terrible person. I hate his glasses. I hate his haircut. I want to kick his teeth in, etc., etc.
Yes.
I'd have laughed if he would have just came back in the middle of that statement. Just with no context. He just hears that and that's it.
What's that all about?
Trent, come on the podcast and defend yourself.
Yeah, geez, Trent.
Yeah, geez, Trent. Yeah, but the whole time that we've been doing, like, talking about stuff, I don't know if you could hear it over the mic, but I've just been typing out more podcast topics.
Oh, that's a good idea. Because we're kind of running low on that already.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone from 4 up to, like, 11 now, so.
Well, you know, stuff and things.
Yeah, things and stuff.
Do you, like, have any questions about any projects that I'm working on right now?
No, I don't, because I didn't know you were really working on anything. But if you'd like to plug your stuff and talk about that, go ahead. While we have an empty space.
I'm not doing projects right now.
You're not?
You got trolled. Yeah, I'm not.
Don't I look stupid? Oh, jeez. But yeah, usually we do this like toward the end of the podcast. But if you want, you can go ahead and like plug your stuff, and I'll put it in the description.
Oh, I think I might chill out for something.
All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm starting to actually make semi-professional, well, not semi-professional, barely professional spellbooks for D&D 5th edition, or whatever edition. You just have to give me a link to whatever spells you want to put in there. I've already done one, and I can do more. They are cheap, cost-effective, and just require a little bit of my soul. So, if you would like, anybody out there, if you would like for me to do a spellbook, just come over to my house and like throw $5 on my face, maybe like $3. I don't know. Doesn't cost me that much.
You don't even have like an Etsy set up for that? That'd be sick.
That'd be real hipster of you, though.
I mean, yeah, you could set up something other than an Etsy, probably like a Patreon or like a Kickstarter or something like that.
I do Patreon, yeah.
Yeah, Patreon sounds about right.
Huh. I might have to do that. It might be a business opportunity that I could be a part of. Well, make.
Yeah. Well, do you have any, like, do you have like a thing that we can link to or in the description?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
Like last episode, I just sent everybody over to Trent's channel to call him a fag, so.
Like, once I
Everyone do the same with Benjamin.
Venus.
Like,
I
Yeah, I'm
barely
just
use that channel anymore, but yeah, sure, do
bye.
it. Do it, you won't.
I'm back.
Go over to his channel and call him a big gay nerd and call his mom gay. There we go.
Okay, but what if he says no you in response?
You tell him your family reunion is the gay communion.
No,
whenever.
And then I just go,
family
your
tree
family
is
tree is LGBT.
Mhm.
Jinx.
Damn it.
Wait, Benjamin, did we just say the same one?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah, we did. That's
We
why I
are
said
now the
Jinx.
same person. That's
No, I don't want to be a
Stop
normie.
being me. Stop calling me normie, please.
You fucking
Ree!
enormous. Get off my board.
What? I have
You haven't
many
seen that?
questions.
I just
I've
keep
heard
on
it's
calling
common
Dylan
thing
a
on
normie. It gets
4chan,
triggered
but,
by
like,
it.
There's also a clip of a guy on YouTube that's kind of viral that like it came from like a 4chan thing, but now it's like associated with that video because it's like just a guy with a Pepe on screen just screaming at the top of his lungs, "You fucking normies, get the fuck off my board!"
Why?
It's great. I'll link it to you after the show.
Please, God.
I'll actually put it in the group chat. Fuck it.
Can I give a shout out to, give me a second to find his name again. I need to give a shout out to this dude because he is an OG meme lord.
Is
If
it?
I can find him again.
Okay. As soon as you find him again, go put the thing on there. Like say the URL or whatever. Like speak out loud the entire YouTube URL.
It's not a YouTube it's not a YouTube thing.
HTTPS semicolon // It just reads the entirety of it.
HTTP.
I'm just gonna give a shout out to at Real Jimmy here on Twitter because he is the OG meme lord. He was the one who shouted at the mirror and said,
"Yep,
it's Wednesday, my dude."
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. I actually follow him on Twitter. Yeah. I didn't recognize his @ handle, but I do follow him on Twitter.
I follow him on Instagram.
I
Yeah, he
follow
also
him
has
on Instagram and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just
How
remember,
about you
no
stop
swearing
hitting
on my
my Twitter
profile.
then?
So there's a weapon in this game called the syringer, which shoots syringes. And my question is, why isn't there a heroin ammo type?
I have no idea. I really wish there was.
Use Red X.
I ask the same question each time I play TF2.
Okay, since we're about halfway through, I feel like this is an appropriate time to bring up this topic, so that we're not just meandering into nonsense for like the next 30 minutes. Shortening episodes. Oh boy. To make it easier to both render and record these episodes, as to not ruin my fucking computer and make it crash every time I try to render a video and then I cry. I propose the idea that we start doing 45-minute episodes as opposed to an hour and a half.
That's fine.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Neat. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just a guest.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, even though like you and I'm starting to also, I'm still on the fence of saying like my anything for this because I still consider it like your thing. I'm just a person on it, but yeah, it's up to you. Pretty much what I'm saying.
If you want me to join like your like podcast thing, just shout it out more at my face, and I'll join in when I can.
Yeah, Benjamin, if you ever want to like come back on, be sure to like let me know, or like if we want you back on, which obviously we do every week if we had the opportunity. But yeah, if you ever want to come back on, just let us know, and we'll be damn sure to let you in for an episode or two.
Yeah. Usually it's just me, Dylan, and Brett, and like a guest, or just the three of us, pretty much.
Yeah.
talking about random things, having a circle jerk on camera, and what?
What?
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen on regular podcasts.
Only when we have guests.
Oh, that explains the weird meat clapping noise I hear when I listen to Joe Rogan.
No, what you're hearing is the sound of his incredibly buff thighs rubbing against each other.
Dear Christ, you put that image in my head and it's terrible. Oh my God. You just reminded me of something that happened that I haven't put on the topic list because it happened like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I was going to get up and go get something to drink, right?
Yes.
And I'm on the floor, so I go to stand up and I prop myself up. Not only do I fall flat on my ass, but like in the fray of falling over again, my left nut somehow manages to get under me. And my full weight just bared down on it, and I'm afraid I might not be able to have children now. That was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm still like when I went to get up to come over here to my desk to come record the podcast, I hobbled. I'm still hobbling. It was like 20 minutes ago, and I can still feel the sting.
That one song plays for the damaged coda whenever you land.
Yeah.
Zooms in on your face.
It just shows the GTA 5 wasted screen.
All you hear in the background is dun, 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 dun.
It just plays the Titanic music over. Just my heart will go on as I begin to fall.
No, you know the thing from the Eric Andre show, the We'll Be Right Back?
Yeah, we just cut it right.
Yeah.
Eric Andre singing "My Heart Will Go On."
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of that show, or one of my favorite cutaways to like credits, was they were talking, and then like Hannibal Buress was like, "Hey Andre," Andre turns around, "You a bitch."
Great. I love the Eric Andre show. It's amazing.
I do too.
Yeah.
Hey bitches.
All right, time to murder a bunch of super mutants.
All right. While you're doing that, let's hop into another topic, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I had the Dragon Ball thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing we can do.
All right, let me begin. So I proposed this idea to Dylan and Brett earlier, but I want to get some opinions on it. Benjamin, would you say that you're relatively knowledgeable about Dragon Ball?
I have watched all of the abridged series so far, so if you count that, then yeah.
That's fair. I mean, in my opinion, I think the abridged series is a relatively legitimate like version of the series, but that's just my opinion.
Also, literally, when you're talking about people who are semi-knowledgeable, every single Dragon Ball episode, I've seen like 90% of them, but also it was on Adult Swim and I was half asleep while watching them, so.
Fair.
So
But
man.
we were wondering, or I was more so wondering, the idea of now this is gonna hurt a little bit because we're gonna remember Evolution, but a Dragon Ball movie, but it's more based off. No, hold on. It's more based off of the source material, and it's actually made by people who know the source material. Because the guy who directed Evolution actually had never read the manga or seen the show.
Nope.
He just knew a little bit about it.
He knew.
He knew the basic outline.
If you're trying to cover like a minor story within the universe, or like a huge like arc or something, if they're trying to cover like an arc or something like that, then I can see it. But if they're trying to cover all of Dragon Ball in one movie, then good luck, and you're not doing that.
I have an idea that I think would work.
Do it like Harry Potter. Just split everything into like 7 movies through like most of the major arcs.
Here's what I think. I don't think a Dragon Ball Z movie is what we need, but I think a Dragon Ball movie would be fine.
A Dragon Ball movie, as in just Dragon Ball, would be amazing. Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah, let me explain. It could be a trilogy, right? First movie, Pilaf Saga. Second movie, Red Ribbon Army. And then third movie, Demon King Piccolo. Bam.
Yeah.
Got it. Focus it around comedy and marketing.
Evolution good.
Yeah. Focus on. Go ahead.
I feel like people don't give the original Dragon Ball enough credit, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I never watched it,
Oh.
but it looked really good.
And if that series does really well, do another trilogy, you could do Z. And here's where I think you should start with Zat. I don't know why I said Zat. I fucking turned German for a second. But anyways, so Z can start out like this. The first half of the first movie could be the Budokai tournament at the end of Dragon Ball, where we get introduced to Demon King Piccolo Jr. We get introduced to adult versions of all the characters, like that kind of stuff. Well, and then the second half of the movie would be basically just Raditz. Second movie is Vegeta and Nappa. You'll probably have to Vegeta and Nappa, and then it could be like, if the movie still has a bunch of space at the end of it, you could probably do maybe when they first arrive on Namek with like them taking out Frieza's generals and stuff.
Yeah, like
and then the third
saga.
Then the third movie would be basically the Ginyu Force and then Frieza.
Like, and if they kept going, it would go through Z.
Yeah.
And hopefully keep Super out.
Here's my thing. I don't think you could do like longer than a 2-hour movie. I think it would have to be like a perfect hour and 30.
Yeah.
Can I just like say this?
Link for this show.
Yeah.
Can I just like say this?
What?
About Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I mainly have 2 issues with it.
Okay.
First off, I have an issue with the fan base.
That's
understandable. Most people do.
Yeah. I'm part of that fan base and I have an issue with it.
Same.
That's kind of like a thing that happens in a lot of different fan bases, Undertale, things like that.
Yeah.
But another thing is, 2 things. First off, a little bit of like, from what I've seen and heard, is like pacing and things like that, where like, the joke, screaming for like 5 episodes, then the actual fight on the 6th.
Yeah. Which is something that Kai really fixed, which I think is great. But the thing is with that, that kind of stemmed from the Frieza fight more so, because fun fact, when they were fighting Frieza, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Dylan, weren't they trying to catch up with the manga at that part, which is why that fight is so stretched out?
Yeah, the manga was almost or past Frieza saga. And,
yeah.
They wanted to catch up with it faster, and because they didn't want to be completely lost by the time the show came out, and or by the time newer episodes came out. Also, oh god, what was it? There was god, I can't remember at this point, but something else had like happened, like within the studio. I think one of his editors, or one of Toriyama's editors, was fired.
Uh-huh.
So like that kind of set the manga back a little.
Right.
So like then they caught up, I'm pretty sure. And
I don't think the whole like fight happens the next episode thing, which that's the thing in shonen anime anyways. Like they'll hype up a fight for an entire episode, then at the end of the episode the fight starts, but the next episode is the whole fight. Like that's in a bunch of different shonen series. Well, that happens a lot in Naruto as well.
That's quite literally why I don't watch much anime. It's just because there's so much build up and so little actual action in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but I will say,
one of the only things that I hate about My Hero Academia. You know that?
Yeah.
I will say though that Dragon Ball Z Kai, like the actual versions of it, not the version that was played on Nick because censorship and God why. that actually fixes a lot of the pacing problems. To me, if you're introducing someone to the show and they have a problem with pacing, that's a much better version to show people.
And then
Go ahead.
The other things I have, like my other main issue, is power scaling. Because you know they messed that up.
Yeah, the word power level literally mean nothing now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they mean something if they're plot relevant. Yeah, like since they're not really like super plot relevant, they don't really.
I mean,
matter
but it's fluid whether they can mean something or not. So they literally have like no influence on the viewer at all.
Yeah. There are, I mean, to be fair, in the beginning of Dragon Ball, that they were legitimate plot points, and now you can power scale based on feats. But the thing is, too, it's pretty. I feel like in Dragon Ball now, especially in Super, where Super is kind of like I think Super is more meant for kids than Dragon Ball Z was, in my opinion. Definitely, to me, Super feels much more like a Saturday morning cartoon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though there is like the universe be wiped out type deal, but you can still get a pretty good grasp on like the different power levels of characters just based off like what characters say and what you see in fights and stuff. Like you don't have like one big misconception is that like you have to be this like mathematician to know what's going on in Dragon Ball Z because of all the powers and stuff. And I really hate that part of the community because they make it like not fun for other people to get into the show, especially the ones that are really militant about it, who are like, oh, you want to see this character fight this other character? No, here's why that character stomps them, and you should never think that they could fight and stuff. Like Super Saiyan Blue versus Super Saiyan 4. Like people get really uppity about that matchup. And I'm like, why?
When in all reality though, in like my whole thing, it could be a pretty even fight at that point because by the time GT came out, power scaling didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And still with Super, power scaling means nothing right now.
Yeah. All you can pretty much do is just get a grasp of like, okay, this character can do this, so this character who beats him can probably do more. If you don't use math and stuff. But I mean, I understand the criticism for it though, because because of the power scaling community, it gets a very bad reputation. But like it's not as big into the show as possible. I will admit like power levels are kind of useless now because they aren't a major plot point like they used to be. Because now because power levels were introduced as a way of comparing characters, but now you can compare characters in my opinion in a less fundamental way by like what kind of shit they can blow up essentially, and like how their fighting affects the environment, like the universe and stuff, which to me isn't as interesting as power levels. But yeah,
I'm just going to say this. I know that each time that I bring this up, at least one person gets mad. Is that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure completely like takes power scaling and breaks it basically by just going from seasons like 1, 2, and 3 where they're world-threatening events to 4 being just a random murder mystery in a small town.
Right. And is that a criticism or is that just like a thing, just something you noticed?
It's something that I've noticed. Like a lot of shonen anime, like each fight has to be bigger, but like there's shows that it doesn't always have to be that way. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. And I think that's fair. I mean, I remember when Dragon Ball used to just be about like a dude going on a quest. Like before I watched Z, I watched the original Dragon Ball. Like I didn't watch it on TV. I'm not that fucking old, but I watched it like online and stuff before I watched Z, and then I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. It's just a dude going on a quest. I didn't finish the original Dragon Ball though. I moved on to Z because I started playing all the video games and stuff. But for what I saw, like I can understand why some really older fans are kind of like, man, I wish like this is how the show is now, or it's just an adventure and stuff like that. You don't have to like every episode isn't how many universes can this character destroy.
Yeah, it's less about we're going to fight this guy, and more about okay, I'm just gonna go meander into this thing that's happening. Oh wait, there's a bad guy now. All right, whatever.
Yeah. Like I said, Z to me is a really good series. I don't think, and one thing too is like I talk about Dragon Ball a lot, but like it's not I'll admit it's not the best anime. I don't think it's a bad anime. I just don't think it's as good as people make it out to be.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not even my favorite anime. My favorite anime is Afro Samurai, which is a 5-episode miniseries.
Yeah.
But
but still a great show.
Yeah, but still.
I really need to watch that one. Where did you guys watch it at?
Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix from what I remember. But
okay, I'm watching that this week.
Yeah, it might be.
It's not anymore.
Oh, it's not anymore.
No.
I mean, you could probably find it online or whatever. It's literally 5 episodes, and it's pretty good. It's kind of like, to me, it feels like a Quentin Tarantino movie in a sense. It's very stylized, very raunchy too. So I don't know if that kind of stuff bothers you. I don't think it does, but very very good show. Very.
I can deal with it.
Yeah, like you don't. Yeah, because especially this second episode is very raunchy, but like after that, it's pretty. I would say in terms of nudity and stuff, after the second episode, there isn't anymore. But the second episode does show a lot of nudity. Like I'm just gonna let you know, a lot of nudity. But a very solid show though.
My my favorite anime has to be Hunter x Hunter.
Right.
I could never get into that, but
is it Hunter x Hunter or Hunter cross Hunter? I've heard two different.
I tried to watch the first episode of that show. I couldn't get through it. I actually couldn't get through it.
It's Hunter cross Hunter, but a lot of people just just say the X because
there's a giant X in the title.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, from the original to the 2011 reboot, it's still a great show to me.
Right.
I watched the original when it was on Toonami, around the time that Bleach started getting put on there. By the way, still my #1 favorite anime. I don't care what people say.
Bleach?
Yeah.
I think I like the manga. Yeah.
The manga is so much better.
Yeah.
But it's.
I would have to judge it for myself, basically.
Hunter x Hunter is really it's decent, okay, because it tells this narrative that you wouldn't expect, and then halfway through the arc that it's on, it starts to set up another arc, and it's that's actually good planning because then you know what's going on halfway through.
Right.
Yeah, but that's better than how most shows do it, where it's finally the big bad is gone. Now we can all kind of relax, and then it lasts 30 seconds, and it's right back into it. When shows do it that way, it's really tiring to actually watch a show.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of getting
because end goal, everything is peaceful and good, but that's never gonna happen. Because a new arc's just gonna start up anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of things never being peaceful and good, let me tell you guys about Berserk.
Oh yeah.
That show.
My single most favorite, hands down, manga of all time. Ignore the anime; it's hot garbage. The new one's hot garbage. Let me put that.
So bad.
The new one is very much hot garbage, but the 3 movie trilogy and the 90s series is just quality content. But Berserk is an anime where it's almost like the Game of Thrones of anime, where it's all right, things are going really good. Oh, there goes my favorite character. Nice. or in the Berserk case, there go my favorite characters in one sitting.
Exactly.
Dead. And not even dead. Wait, go ahead.
How do you feel about the new Fist of the North Star?
Ooh, boy. Fist of the North Star is my other favorite anime. It's my other favorite anime, but I've never finished it because it's almost 200 episodes.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a problem with Dragon Ball because I had a lot more free time back in those days when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But I don't now, so I can't really finish Fist of North Star. But I've seen half of the series, and it's really good. The prequel series I'm excited for. Let me preference this by saying that I've not read any of the Fist of the North Star manga because a lot of it hasn't been translated into English officially, and I don't like reading manga online. I tried that with Berserk, and I got through pretty much the entirety of the series. But when I finished it, I was like, no, I'm not doing this again.
This does not feel good.
Yeah, but also, that's not an anime. Fist of the North Star is not really a thing that I've gotten into. And plus, now that you mention it's 200 episodes, I'm probably never actually going to get around to it because for me, it's less of a problem of free time and more of a problem of I look at how many episodes the show has and get intimidated, and I'm like, I'm never going to finish this anyway.
More so, there's two series. There's Fist of the North Star, and then there's New Fist of the North Star. But if you get on like Hulu, they have them both as the same Fist of the North Star thing, which is like 150 episodes. It might be more like 50, but I know I didn't finish it, and I don't think it's exactly 200, but I know it's either 150 or 200. I just can't remember specifically, but I know like for sure. I mean, someone could probably Google it right now, but it was a really good show, really good like classic anime. If you like really, really old anime, you'd like it. But if you're used to like modern, really, really fast-paced anime, then you probably wouldn't like it. But the story is really good. That's why I'm excited for the new one, because the new one, even though I'm going to give the CGI a chance because it actually looks pretty decent. It's not like Berserk where we could tell it looked like hot garbage.
And Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that series because of that.
But the new one looks pretty interesting to me because they've done this in the manga, but since I never read the manga, I don't know about this. As far as I know, we've never seen, in terms of the anime, a pre-war or pre-nuclear bomb. Because the whole thing with Fist of North Star is like there's like this family of martial artists, kind of. Well, not really family, like adopted family.
Yeah.
And like they all know the Hokoto no Ken, I think is what it's called. It's like a Chinese martial art that lets Ken do all this ridiculous stuff. And then like one of them betrays Kenshiro, and that's pretty much the plot of the show. Then like a bunch of bombs fall, and that makes everything all post-apocalyptic. And then like the brothers who survived like split off and basically form their own empires essentially. And the basis of the show is the first part of it is basically Ken going to get revenge on the one that almost killed him and took his wife. Like him going to all the different brothers and stuff and seeing how they are, and like he has to fight some of them and that kind of stuff. It's not really like a bad guy of the week, I would say, but it can feel like that sometimes. But I don't really think it is because there are a lot of episodes of just him helping out like people in this post-apocalyptic world. Like if I had to describe it, I would say it's like Mad Max with like martial arts, pretty much, because there is like vehicle combat and stuff in the early parts of the show and everything.
Yeah.
But what I'm interested in with this new show is a pre-war or a pre-nuclear bomb era of it, because we've seen that in the original, and I think we saw some of that in the OVAs as well. The OVAs, Brett, also you might want to look into them because they're basically mini movies essentially, and they're only like 5 of them, I think, and they're all part of like one OVA series, and they're just like anthology things throughout the series basically. Like you don't have to see the series to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like you might not understand certain things, but like when I watched the first one, I was like, okay, I've never seen the entirety of the Fist of the North Star series, and I felt like I understood what was going on just fine. And they pretty much explained like, this is Ken, he's a badass. Look at him do this thing. But yeah, that's the gist of it. Anyways, like I'm excited because I like pre-war stuff. I like a lot of lore for my shows, and I'm just excited to see where the new one goes. I'm giving it a chance. It could be terrible, but at the same time, it could also not be terrible and just be an actually good example of 3D anime that's not bad. I almost said 3D hentai. That's not bad. I apologize for that. It almost slipped
a lot of that.
Can I share my low-key favorite meme
I
from
swear to
the
God.
North Star? It's not that one.
We're about to say, can I share my favorite hentai? I was like, I swear to God, Benji, if you put hentai in the Discord chat.
I did send something into the chat. You can see it when Reed gets there.
I guess we'll look at that in between with the break in between episodes.
Yeah, but go ahead, Ben.
I saw this one, and it was. I'm trying to remember it correctly, but throwing dynamite isn't a martial art. You have to do what you have to do to survive.
Yeah. It was like the guy had dynamite, right? Kenshiro's fighting this guy. He has dynamite. and he's like, dynamite isn't a martial arts, and the guy shrugs with 2 lit sticks of dynamite in his hand. He's like, it works.
Yeah.
That was a really good episode. That's actually filler, which is really interesting, but it was really cool.
Shows that can do good filler episodes are the shows that I like.
I mean, that's
Shows
what Fist
that
of the
don't
North
have
Star is. Yeah.
Shows that don't have a whole season of filler, Naruto.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Brett, as well, Fist of the North Star, the show is also got a movie, not the OVAs, but like an actual movie adaptation of it that was made by the people who made the show. So it's like basically just an OVA of the show, and it's really good. And so if you're interested in that, you can just watch that movie.
Nice. All right, I'll get around to that, but we should probably close this off at some point here. Like,
right.
Has anybody got any closing statements?
Retro is dumb.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Oh. Yeah, I don't really have anything.
Yeah, me neither.
Just a quick reminder, I'm from CouchBums, and if you like my random excessive talking and like weirdness, come check out our channel. We'll be uploading a lot more frequently on there now, and we'll be really getting our footing. Is that the word, footing?
Traps are gay.
Yeah. Traps are only 3% gay, actually.
I'm just going to as soon as like this podcast closes down, stay on like the chat. I just want to explain the picture.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next episode we got another guest coming on. Yay! By request of Trent here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tune into the next episode next Wednesday. That is, if I don't forget to upload it like I did the other day. I'm sorry, by the way. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right. There we go.
That was good.
Honestly.